Oh yeah, I did too.
You may introduce Besher up front.
Yes, sir. Basher is the way you pronounce it.
Besher.
Yeah, just like. I will if you want me to do it during my report.
Okay.
Or you want to do it at the very beginning. Which
Your report's fine. I didn't know how you wanted to do it.
I'm with you. You tell me. If you're ready.
Your report is fine. Just do it.
I'll just let him know that I'm going to introduce him.
Give these folks 2 minutes on the. They wanted to speak on the noise ordinance.
I told him to get there.
I mean, go back. Recognize. Lockheed, I guess. And see if they have any new information. And I'll give everybody a couple minutes if they have new information. I really need our attorney to be here.
If you want to hold for a little bit longer, maybe he'll be here in a minute.
I sure need him. Somebody. There he is.
You can give that. I got mine signed. I think Alan needs to sign it. Thanks.
Here you go.
Oh no, I agree.
I'll tell him that you're going to because I'll include him in my report.
Okay.
I did. I'm like you. I did too. I didn't know that. I like one more. Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
All right. That's all right. That's all. Yeah.
Waiting on Chad. And Charlie. How you doing, y'all?
I'm good.
Pike County Commission work session will now come to order. First, I'd like to recognize Jeff McCain and his wife. They're from the Spring Hill community. Come on up to the podium. They have a problem with some noise ordinance in their area, and I want to share that with us.
Yes, sir. Like I said, my name is Jeff McCann. This is my wife, Amy. We just wanted to speak on behalf of we know that there's no noise ordinance in the county. We've lived at our present location. I've lived there since 1984. We have a business that has moved in across the street from our residence, from our house, and it is basically it's a dog kennel now, and it's a animal refuge for all kinds of animals. They have and it's the noise has gotten unbearable. It's a constant noise now all weekend long. I work out of town, so the weekend is my weekends to be at home, and that's my time to relax and be peaceful. And there's no way possible with all the animals across the road now. There's constant traffic in and out. And I just want to know if there's anything the commissioner can do or will do to help our situation out. I know it's a touchy situation. I know something was brought up a few years ago about it, from discussing it with other people and my commissioners, and I just want to know if there's any way we might could bring it back up and see if we could have something else done about it.
So
Go ahead, Chad, if you have.
So I've spoken with them a couple of times, and kind of the same issue with litter and noise that we've had before us, and I kind of told them where we were. I know, and y'all can, this was before my time, y'all can correct me on some of these dates. I know we had the ballot initiative that would give us more authority on this. That was defeated. Mr. Allen that's one of the things, one of the first things that we went to work on when I got elected, because litter and noise is a big problem we get calls on, that we really have no way.
Yes.
We don't have the authority to make rules on that. And then the ones that are in place, I know of nothing with noise. We've discussed at length in here the issues with some of the, getting enforcement and on some of the laws in the litter area. I'll defer to you, as far as Mr. Allen, if there's anything that we have the authority to do. I know the answer that you've given us, but
The problem that, it's hard, it's just hard to fathom and understand in 2017 or any other year, but particularly now, is county governments still do not have any form of limited home rule to even impose noise ordinances, certain litter things, but mainly the litter we're talking about. The county can go into a dump now and with the landowner permission, go onto private land and clean it up. But as far as just litter in general, it falls into the same issue as noise. But you'd think you'd have the right to call the sheriff's office and say, look, there's just this going on out here, but there is no law to that effect in Pike County. Now, for everybody to know, what the ACCA, the County Commission Association, did is help craft, and it got through the legislature. Gosh, this has been a long time ago. When I said a long time ago, several years ago, a bill where if the voters of the county passed by referendum, adopted the quote limited home rule bill, then the county commission could craft and draft noise ordinance. There's certain things it could exercise lawful authority over and make laws. Didn't pass. So that's where we are.
And I know we're limited to, even if we wanted to put that back forward, we hadn't met the threshold of the years or the election cycles to even put that back forward, have we?
Yeah, yes, sir. The part of that particular code section doesn't allow that to be brought back as a referendum before it's been 4 years. And I think we're about 3 years away from that when that was brought forward.
So you said, what he's saying is, when it gets voted, when it got voted down, it can't even, we get calls fairly regular. And right now, our only course of action would be to contact our representative and senator and say, we want to bring a bill forward. Well, we can't even do that until the 4-year time period is passed. Yeah. It's a shame, the way things are legislatively in Montgomery right now.
One of the things that and I've talked to y'all about bringing it up in here, is to make those phone calls to the representative and senator and let them know that these are issues, because our hands are tied and we will have to have their help to do anything. And I'm not sure that we can inside, even with their help inside of that window, until we can get another bill through. But to make sure that they understand that it is a real issue and that they're getting calls on it as well. So I know that's not what you wanted to hear.
Oh, I know.
But
And what I don't want to happen is I don't want to end up wasting the sheriff's department's time, because I know they have other things to do besides having to deal with this. So we haven't actually called and complained to the sheriff's department yet, because we already talking with you, we knew there was nothing we could do. But with that also being said, I know that there's nothing they're going to be able to do to me neither for the noise that I will start making if they can't keep their stuff down. So, and that's where I don't want to get into some big thing where here we are, wasting a whole lot of time and effort for our law enforcement, because they have a lot better things to do. They come down here and have to deal with this. I mean, we've tried to talk to them, tell them, hey, we don't like the noise, but when you've got 400 dogs over there barking constantly, it's a racket.
and my recommendation would be definitely to talk to the sheriff. I think he's gonna probably talk to you and explain the things from his perspective the way we have, and we definitely don't want any kind of dispute going on. He doesn't either. So, it would probably be worth your time to, and I feel confident that he would discuss it with you.
Yeah, I do
and let you know from his perspective where he's limited, and that way when you make those phone calls to Montgomery, you've got law enforcement perspective, our perspective, and then your real life example of here's what we're living through.
Yes.
And we really need your help. Because it's frustrating in this seat to have somebody call with an issue, and I don't know, I know you guys have called, and I know your side of the issue. I haven't talked to the other side, but you know, when you have constituents calling that you have no power to help, if, you know, is frustrating.
Yes, it varies, especially when nobody lives there. And I'm the one that votes in our district, and they don't even vote in our district, and it's still like, our hands are just tied with it.
Also, make sure that you get the date and time, keep up with all of that.
Yes, sir.
Track record for that, and when you talk to them, and that will help them, and it will help us when you call.
Yes, sir.
We thank you for coming. We appreciate you letting us hear
Thank
what
you.
you have to say.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Next, I'll recognize the representatives from Lockheed. And do you have anything new to share with us?
Good evening.
Good evening, Matt.
I just want to give you all a quick update of where we're at since the last meeting. Since then, there have been letters of understanding and agreements reached with the Pike County Water Authority and Southeast Alabama Rural Electric Company. There's also been talks with the Pike County Water Authority, and Lockheed has agreed to move the Henderson's water meter to a place that would be accessible by them down there on the corner of 7717, 7718. So they shouldn't have that issue anymore. And as far as the fire department goes, talks are continuing. There has been what we understand being a verbal agreement. However, nothing's been put down in writing yet, but we do expect that in the near future. And hopefully that issue will be resolved at that time. That's the update that we have at this time.
Thank you, Matt.
Anything
Appreciate
else
it.
that I can answer, I'll be happy to. If not, Mr. Carson's here, and he can answer.
Questions from the commission? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. I'll open this up to if you have something new. We already know what you said last time, and we're going to take that into consideration. If you have something new, you're welcome to come up for 2 or 3 minutes.
I'm Darlene Bozeman Lee. There's several things I wanted to go over. We have a petition, which we started. We have 73 signatures on it, at which we also, as of today, there was 10 more that is not on here that we have received. As I stated last time, there's a little bit retract, but it's bringing you up to the new points of this. When my father, as I said, bought land in Pike County years ago, as well as many other people have, he checked for the clear title, water rights, mineral rights, value of timber, value of hayfield, value of house and land. And yes, the accessibility of the property provided by 717, the public county road. The more accessible the property, the more valuable the property is. Nowhere was the property flagged or marked that the public paved road could be closed at any time just because Lockheed wants it to be. My father, my family, will have been deceived by Pike County if the road is closed, as well as every other landowner in Pike County, because this will mean all public county roads can be closed at any time by anybody. The road itself has absolutely nothing to do with jobs or the 1,250-foot safety perimeter, as Lockheed claims. They're blowing smoke. So let's look at that point. Are we to believe that whoever drew up Lockheed's new addition was an idiot and planned a building too close to the public road, forgetting about the 1,250-foot safety perimeter? Or does Lockheed already know something that the tax-paying owners don't? Is Pike County being deceived again by Pike County? Let's hope not. And Lockheed, do they have an idiot drawing up plans? Of course not. There is no reason for Lockheed to close the road other than pure greed and financial gain. Lockheed owns 3,863 acres of land, according to their website, And yet Lockheed wants 2.7 miles of paved road and 32 acres of land free. This way they don't have to build a road, saving them millions of dollars, but at the tax-paying landowner's expense. They already have a nice back entrance off of 7017 now. They own 545 acres on the south side of the road, which it butts up, a lot of it to me, which is where they're wanting to put the gate. That's why their lawyer did not want to answer my question at the last commissioners meeting when I asked just how much land is on the south side of the road that would justify closing the road. I asked 1, 5, 15, or 100 acres. He stood up and stated that they would not answer. Well, why not? He knew that if he answered too little amount of land, that it wouldn't justify closing the land. And he knew that if he answered 545 acres of land, more than enough land to build their own entrance on their own land, it would not justify closing the road either. Greed, gentlemen, pure financial greed. For a free 2.7 mile paved road and 32 acres of land. Keeping in mind, they own 3,863 acres. Not a penny out of their pockets, nothing to do with the safety perimeter or the employees, but pure financial gain by not having to build their own entrance road. What are the commissioners going to do if we, the landowners on both sides of the road, decide to file a motion to vacate 7017 where we live? After all, we own the land on both sides of the road, just like Lockheed. Don't we have the land, don't we, all the landowners in Pike County, have the right to benefit as Lockheed is trying to do? It would be more beneficial for us to close the road than Lockheed, because it would protect our property and our way of life, stopping the backing up of traffic from Lockheed, stopping Lockheed's employees from speeding through the trailer park, running over their cats and dogs and killing them. And I understand that the lady of the trailer park has contacted Pike County Commission Office on several times and complained about the speeding through there, killing their dogs and cats. It could be a child out playing that they hit next time and kill. Stopping the trash from being thrown out in our yards, stopping the parking in our driveways, stopping the cigarette butts being thrown out, stopping the round-the-clock noise, stopping the entrance gate light shining all night long, which would be shining right into the back of our house down there. Here, I wanted to show y'all this. These are the maps and the tax estimate, appraisals or whatever, the land that is along the immediate first mile from 0231 until where Lockheed wants to put the gate. It is actually 1 mile. Most of the land is on the first 1/6 of a tenth of the mile. When you start there, the next 4/10 of the mile is all my road frontage till their gate. And to that gate is all front property road frontage, where their traffic would all be backed up. I would absolutely have no clear front road frontage from their traffic backing up there. People who live out in the county do so for different reasons, of which are peace and quiet, no bright lights at night, no major traffic flow, where kids can get out and play safely, where they can have cats and dogs, no strange people in their driveways on a smoke break, and no trash in their yards. If you close Road 7717, it's going to kill the value of our property. No one is going to want to buy our land where you must look at an entrance gate and deal with all the problems it's going to bring. No one is going to give us a good market price for our land. No one. And let's stop there just a minute. And let me say something. It has been said to me by someone that the closing of the road would not drop property values. And this person apparently had been in real estate before. Well, you know, I used to work with small animals and with small animal veterinarians all my life I have. And I have worked with large animal vet for the last years, I worked the straight 5 years as an assistant. And in no way does that make me a licensed authority at being a veterinarian. No more than it makes this person who worked in real estate some years ago an authority on how it will or will not drop land value. I did some research at the courthouse, and one of the people I talked to is Jason, who goes in and does estimates, you know, on your value that you pay property tax on, to see if we could figure out how it would affect the drop of the property. There was no way he could tell me, simply because, to the best of our knowledge and everyone I've talked to, no other public, well-used road as this has ever been closed in Pike County before. Is that true?
I don't know.
Okay. So there would be no way of really justifying how it's going to affect our land values, other than it's going to make them drop. And the only way to do that is, he told me it's the same way they go in and appraise. If you've got a house that's $60,000, land and a house, Tom does, and Joe has land and a house and a shop, well then that raises his $10,000, let's say. And so on to Pete over here. If he's got twice as much, then his value goes up. Well, it works the same way as the value falling. If you were to go in and somebody sells the property there because they don't like looking at Lockheed's Gate and they want to sell, and they have a $60,000 property and can't sell it but for $40,000 or $30,000, then everybody's property instantly drops, no matter how much retail is, to boom, there. And you lose your property value. You will not get anything out of what you've put in it. The property is there now at y'all's own county tax assessment appraiser. Value is valued at $762,370. That's y'all's value of it. That's what you get taxes paid on every year. Now, that property tax, that's not retail now. That's not retail. That's just what y'all say it's worth. If the property tax falls, and it will fall, it will fall. It don't take a genius to understand that. Even one of Lockheed's own men said that they considered that it would make the taxpayer, the property value fall. I was told that myself by him. It don't take a genius to see it, but it's going to take money out of your pockets too, because it's going to lessen the property tax value. On the map also, you'll see here, the blue, where it comes off 105 or 0231, you'll see the bus route. It comes down and comes right in front of the trailer park, and there's a dirt road there. This is the dirt road that Lockheed's employees are so bad about hauling butt through when they use the back entrance back there. If you see, the bus comes right down to there, it pulls in and then backs out onto 7017, and then continues back up to the old 231 and turns right. It will be putting the bus in the direct flow of Lockheed's speeding traffic. And I don't think anybody wants to endanger their kids that way. We, the landowners, are respectfully requesting that the voting on the closing of 7017 not be a closed session vote, but a public voting, and that we will be notified on the date and the time that the public voting will take place. In closing, the tax-paying property owners of Pike County Road 717 respectfully and sincerely request that you keep 7017 open, benefiting everyone in Pike County. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else got something new to add? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to our engineer's report.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Chairman, we have several items tonight that will require action from the commission, and several of those, I think 3 of those are under new business, so we would also require that you suspend the rules for us tonight. Those are time-sensitive items. But the first thing is under project update, our monthly project update. We have a separate memo from the update with a recommendation for turf spray on our right-of-way. You know, with our, and it's explained there, I don't know if you've had a chance to read it, but to sum it up, with our turnover that we're experiencing lately, we're going to need to get a contractor, and we're proposing to use the same contractor that we used last year. If you remember, Roadside Inc. helped us with some spraying last year, so we would just request to let them handle this first round of spraying for us this year. And then the second item under project update is the resolution to initiate the resurfacing project on County Road 2276. This one tonight is a revision of the first one. The first one, the ending point for the first one was County Road 2243 at Friendship Church. And we, as a sort of a formality, they want you to stop at a logical terminus, and we had some extra work that needed to be done a little further. So they didn't want us to add that to the contract, so we just moved to the next intersection, which is a short distance down the road there, and that's County Road 2277. So this is not a new project or an additional project. It's just sort of a revision of the resolution that you've already approved. And one other thing I wanted to point out, not something requiring action, but under project updates, I did want to just mention to you that we found out last week the block grant application was not funded for County Road 7759 and 2256. So the grant writer is evaluating our grant application and I guess whatever information she received from ADECA. And I think there's a required meeting she has to go to before the other information about other grants is released. There were some road grants approved this time. So I think she's got to wait until she can get that other information, you know, until she can, before she can actually sort through all that and kind of see if there's anything better that we can do with the application so she can develop recommendations for you. Of course, that can be resubmitted this year. It's totally up to you. But just want to let you know that we are waiting on that, and as soon as she lets us know something, we'll come back to you with that. The second item under new business is equipment. We have a list of, there's a memo, and excuse me, I didn't mention this before, but all of this information is in your agenda package. We didn't hand out any extra materials tonight, but there's a list of surplus or list of equipment that we're requesting you to surplus, as well as our plan there, which is detailed on the memo to dispose of it. And then the only other item that we have tonight is under current business, and that's a personnel recommendation for one of our part-time positions. And there's also a memo in your agenda package.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
last year we as commissioners sit here and voted to contract spraying out. We also, in that contract, to fix our truck for spraying. And I, as the commission said, this is gonna come back again. And here it is, again, to contract our spraying out. We have part-time workers. Our trucks are supposed to be equipped and ready to go this year for our spraying. Now that is taxpayers' money. that we are spending and getting no result whatsoever out of it. And I'm one commissioner is tired of spending taxpayer money and don't get any results. Now, the spraying did some damage to our right-of-way, caused erosion and all of that. Because we didn't have anybody out there to supervise some of the spraying. You know. And if we're gonna continue to contract spraying out and continue to have part-time work, and all equipment that we have supposed to be ready, we just need to get rid of some employees. Stop hiring them, or do something. And that, like I said again, that is taxpayers' money that we are wasting in this position.
Okay. Mr. Copeland?
So, make sure I understand it. So Atris is our licensed employer,
correct.
right? Okay, so we really can't legally spray without Atris. Okay. So, and Commissioner Harris is right, I know we did fix our truck. This is an understanding of what you're asking question. So, if I read this memo right, we're gonna get 2 spray-ins for roughly $27,000. It's $13,600 in the application.
Right. That's the only additional amount above and beyond what was already budgeted for their consulting fee.
Well, that's what I want to make sure I understood. So we've got the consulting fee that we're already paying for.
Right.
So is it basically another $14,000 above that and we get 2 spray-ins?
That's right.
Okay, so our total, so we're getting 0 spray-ins from them today at approximately $14,000. If we add $14,000 the way I read the memo, then we're gonna get 2 spray-ins,
Right.
we're gonna be paying about $7,000 a spray.
Right, and according to them, they're gonna develop the chemistry or change it up a little bit this year, and they feel confident that they can handle what needs to be done with 2 sprayings. So, you know, we wouldn't have, that would mean we wouldn't have to do any spraying at all this year. The truck is in working order as far as we know. That'd give us time to get some other people licensed. And then, you know, if it makes more sense financially for us to spray in the future, you know, because we sprayed differently last year than we normally do. We started a different program to help us only mow once, just as a reminder, to save money. And but we've had to spray for, I think, at least 25 years. We've sprayed every single year. So either we're going to be spraying or somebody's going to spray it for us. So we could go back then next year and reevaluate. If it makes more sense economically for us to, we will. If it makes more sense to contract it out, yeah, obviously we want to do what's best, like Commissioner Harris said, for the taxpayer.
And so I notice in your memo also the way you're gonna fund this is one of those vacancies that's already there by not filling it.
Right.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
in that $14,000, when you're saying about Atris that we can't spray, before we contract that, we had a guy that was doing all of the spraying with the truck. You know? And in that $14,000, we spent about $50-some thousand in that truck. If you add that 1450, that's $64,000.
Do you remember what we spent on the truck?
It was less than 15,000.
Yeah, it was,
I think
yeah,
it
it
was
was-
12 or 13,000.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What, 50? Didn't he say 50?
There was more in there.
We can look that up if we need to.
Look it up. But anyway, we have employees out there. If that truck is ready, they could do the springs, contracting and stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Chairman.
Go ahead.
I'm not,
When he gets the,
I'm not for contracting anything else out when we got employees and the truck's supposed to be ready to spray.
I want you to correct me if I misspeak. The year prior to the last commission election, is it correct the county mowed, we mowed 4 times, mowed the county 4 times?
I think 3.
3?
Yeah.
It roughly a cost of about, the first 2 about $50,000 in mowing, and then the third one being about 75 because it was full width, is that right?
I think it was, I don't remember the exact number, I think it was closer to 100.
You know, the implementation of the spray program last year saved us about $88,000 versus the cost of the mowing that we've been doing in the past. Which was just one of the things we were trying to look at doing to put money back into the resurfacing budget. You know, I think, I hear what you're saying, but I think the thing that we have to look at, we've had a gentleman, unfortunately had a gentleman pass away, another gentleman that's retiring. If we can have the 2 spray-ins done for $7,000 a trip around the county, I don't know why we would ever hire someone to do it again or even keep the spray truck. I mean, we could not hire an employee, pay their benefits, retirement, et cetera, their salary, and maintain and keep running the spray truck for $14,000 a year. You know, I mean, if you look at it in the trade-off of how are we best utilizing the tax dollars at our expense, I mean, both of these gentlemen that are going to be, one's gone, one's that's leaving, make well above the $14,000 a year. You know, I mean, it's a huge savings in tax dollars if we can outsource this and not replace an employee by doing that. You know,
Okay. Go ahead.
Mr. Johnson, you are correct what you're saying, but the employees are there already. We have part-time employees all the time, and we got all these part-time employees out there, and you're saying 3 times a year more, and we only mow twice a year. We only mow twice a year. And the next time you come around, you do the whole thing. But we got about new tractors, new bush hogs, and all this, and still doing the same thing, contracting stuff out. And we got this equipment out there. Why did we buy it if we was gonna do this? Why did the commission buy all this equipment and it's sitting over there?
We got rid of a good bit of the equipment because we bid out the mowing this past year, and we didn't have to replace it.
What equipment that we got rid of? Name it. What equipment
on
we
that
got?
list here.
Now it's on this list now. Now it's on this list now, but what equipment did we get rid of? We haven't got rid of anything yet. You got all this new equipment out there.
We're gonna get rid of it as soon as you surplus it. I can't get rid of it until you give me authority to. But the
Yeah, now you want to
idea,
get rid of it because now you want a contract. But this equipment that's sitting out there, doing and just sitting.
I'd like to rebut the comment you made just to you, since you said it that way to me. You know, we do have a shortage of employees. We got people begging us to pick up trash. We got folks calling wanting dirt roads graded. We've got projects need doing on wooden bridges. If we can contract out the spray and save all of the rest of those salaries and benefits, we can put those employees to doing something other than spray, which is a whole list of things that we don't have time to do now. We can take the little bit of savings from this contract and another person's salary and use it for whatever we need. I mean, it wouldn't be a lot of money, but if it's road striping or whatever it is a year, it's money we can put where there is none today, I think would be the way to try to look at it. I'm agreeing with that.
Mrs. Younger, we don't have any of that. what you talking about. We don't have any of that. We don't have guys to go pick up trash and all. We don't hire employees to do that. We go down to the prison and use prison to come in and do that type of work and put one man on it. But we don't have employees to do that. We hire employees to run equipment and do other things, not pick up trash.
One more question.
One question.
Are we still on pace with the plan that we laid out last year to get away? We had 7 fleet tractors. We were going down to 3. We were contracting.
We're gonna go down to 4 first, and then gradually step down.
So our
Next 2
long-term plan that we voted on as a commission last year was to implement this plan, was to sell off the equipment that we agreed to, the 7 tractors down, to keep some for what we had to do, road work and everything. We outsourced the mowing. That's what allowed us to do it. We came up with a long-term plan to do this last year. And you're telling us, so we're all sure that we're still on the plan that we voted for last year
Yes.
to decrease that fleet to that point,
Right.
to see the savings that we worked out in that plan, and we have not deviated from that plan.
Right, and the other factor in that equation, we're also reducing our workforce. Remember, we were down 2, and we decided at that time if we could reduce the tractor fleet and the workforce by 2 and not have to mow, then we could try to make that work. So.
We've been able to do all the workforce reductions through retirements, and unfortunately with 2 employees passing away, but without having to lay off any employees, we've been able to reduce the workforce down to get this all fit. Okay, I want to make sure we were still on the plan we passed last year.
So if you do decide to mow or even at this point, if you decide that you want us to spray, we will need to hire somebody else to do that, because right now we're at an all-time low personnel wise, and we don't really have enough people to do the road work that we have to do at this point.
What's the time frame for us to get somebody certified once Atris leaves? I mean, do we have any window that they'll allow us to spray without? So, and Atris, to clarify too, Atris is the only certified guy we've got.
Right.
Okay. That doesn't mean you don't have to be certified to spray.
That's correct.
You just have to have a certified person.
Supervisor, yes.
Okay. And Atris is the only one we have.
Right.
Is there any window that would allow us to spray without him legally?
We can start while he's still here, but
But could we,
Once
once he
he
walks
leaves, you
out,
gotta stop.
we gotta stop, and we will not be legally allowed to spray until we get somebody.
that's right.
All right, how long will that process take? I know you probably can't estimate.
Yeah, I really can. I mean, you can, I think there is a self-directed study program that you can do and take the examination on your own. Generally, I think agencies like to send equipment operators to some, an instructional setting where they can be taught properly. So, I really can't tell you right now when the next class would be available for that kind of thing.
Go ahead, Commissioner Harris.
Russell, when you first came as an engineer to Pike County, you had anywhere from 40 to 45 years working, maybe 30 to 45 years working in that road department, or 25. Drop down to 20 working. You came up with a plan for early retirement. And when you came up with that plan with early retirement, and those guys see that good benefit and money that they could get and leave the county and retire, you the one came up with it. And you lost all of your help, experienced help. Most every one of them jumped on that retirement. You wasn't looking at the long term of the county commissioners, experienced guys that you was gonna lose. Now all those guys is gone, and some now is passing away. Now some is retiring because they got the time in. That's not these 6 commissioners' fault because you came up with that. You the one came up with that.
Commissioner Harris, I wish I could take credit for that. That was
Well,
a pretty good way to save a lot of taxpayer money that we didn't have.
You came up with
I'm
that.
sorry, I can't take credit for
You came up with that,
I
and
wish I could.
now you want to keep hiring and hiring and hiring and try to get it back. You know? And the guys out there, there's much training for these guys out there to do. You know? And you knew that Actors was gonna eventually retire, and you should have had someone in place already qualified to do that. You know, you got to think ahead,
I'm gonna correct you on a little bit of that,
you
Commissioner.
know? So those things is what you gotta look at.
I'm gonna correct you just a little bit on
All
that.
right, go ahead.
We came up as a commission with that to reduce the outlay for payroll, so we could make payroll. That was part of our plan that we did. It wasn't Russell.
But he came up with the idea.
It was our plan that we implemented.
And we voted for it.
We did. All right, let's move on. You got anything? Homer?
No.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir, that's all.
Okay, thank you. EMA?
Good evening.
Good evening, Herb.
You'll have a packet in your packet, in your agenda packet. Several weeks ago, Mr. Sanders, myself, and McKenzie met with several folks at the courthouse concerning some courthouse security concerns. We talked through it, and we've gone back and taken a look at what we can do immediately and what are some longer-term things that we need to do. And the packet you have outlines 3 changes that we would want to make. One would be concerning signage at the entry doors. This is the signage that's been developed in conjunction with the security contractor that we have there. Secondly, would be to place some concrete planters in front of the courthouse to prevent a vehicle from entering the courthouse from Church Street. Right now, there's a wide open path into the front of the courthouse. And lastly, probably one of the more important ones was some changes to the back door entrance to where that door could not just be opened freely without allowing people in. So what we would be doing would be changing that to a card reader or a card reader on both the inside and the outside door. And you would have to swipe to open the door from the inside. Otherwise, an alarm would sound, not only on the hallway, an audible alarm, but also up at the security console where the security off-function are at. So we would be looking to propose to do these 3 things to immediately to increase the security at the courthouse. And the total cost of these upgrades would be $5,096. So we put that on the agenda for review.
Okay.
Questions?
Any questions for EMA?
I'd like to talk to him after the meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Herb. Attorney report?
I trust everyone got the amended agenda email from McKenzie the end of the week, and you'll just see that there are 3 executive session items that go under my report, and one is matter of commerce and trade. Second one is a name and character, good name and character item, and the third is a security, county security matter. As always, a lot of these don't surface until last minute. That's why this is on an amended agenda. A couple of these came up after Wednesday or Thursday, so we'll need probably 20 minutes, I would think, to go in and at the end of the meeting, as we customarily do, to cover them all. It shouldn't take long, 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Alan. Harry?
Mr. Chairman, on the administrator's report, we have 4 items this evening. We can forward items 1 through 3. They won't need any action tonight, but I'll try to briefly describe what each of those are for your information. Item number 1 is the county levies for alcohol licensing. As you gentlemen know, there is a schedule that's set forth with ABC Board for alcohol licensing within Pike County. We're currently at the maximum on all those levies, so we will just simply be adopting what was previously put in place. It's been several years without any change to any of that cost. That can wait till our next meeting, so it can roll forward. Item number 2 is the Personnel and Revenue Commission office. I believe there is, Kinsey, can you help me with that?
It's 2.
There's 2.
2 employees.
Yeah.
They have reached their probationary period, 2 employees in that office, and the Revenue Commissioner is simply asking that they be deemed full-time employees, permanent employees. Then finally, or not finally, number 3, the Alabama ABC Retail off-premises request for the Henderson Mall. We have a liquor license request from those individuals. We just received it, not sure of the date, but it will not be able to be voted on tonight, and they're in the process of doing their advertising at this time. This will be another license transfer type item. You have one of those that can be voted on your current business this evening. And then finally, number 4, Commissioners, I appreciate you allowing me the time that we have at this time to inform everyone that I'll be retiring at the end of March. We've worked with the Commission over 16 years now. It's been a pleasure and an honor to serve with you gentlemen, to serve the people of Pike County. The time has come for me to walk away and to give someone else an opportunity to serve. I'm proud to say that the lady that I've been married to for almost 42 years is here tonight. A very precious person in my life, and certainly it's to spend time with her. This is a little more emotional than when I was in
it. Yep.
We're gonna vote no anyway.
But I do appreciate the opportunity to have worked here with you good men and all those others that I've served with, and with the county commission staff that's beyond anything that I could hope for when I came here. It's been a joy and a pleasure. I appreciate it very much, and I look forward to addressing you all by your first name instead of commissioner after a while. We do appreciate all of it.
Okay.
Moving
And
on.
I've told him that until he leaves, we're going to still work on twisting his arm.
There you go.
He hadn't consented to that yet. We can still try.
I'm getting shorter every time you look at it. The other current business, moving on. Current business, I think the Commission's already addressed item number 1. It'd be my assumption that you want to continue to move forward with that this time. Item number 2, the engineer's already addressed that issue with personnel in his department. And then item number 3 is an ABC transfer license for Red Eyes Roadhouse. And I think that's in Commissioner Copeland's district. And yes, sir, but as you have in your package, the advertising affidavit has been provided and the advertising is complete. The Commission wishes to address that at our regular meeting. All that's necessary by the applicant's been done. And Commissioners, that's all I have.
Besser. Besser.
Well, you want me to introduce our intern? As I told you I was going to do, well, I apologize for that. I apologize for that. We have an intern.
Besser, come on up.
Please come forward. I will not slaughter Basher's last name. I'll let him say his own name for us here. Basher is an intern that's working with us. He's a graduate student at Troy University. We've been pleased and honored to have him in our office, and he is he's working hard to learn, and we're pleased to have him here. I'd like for him, if he would, to let you know his name and what his degree that he's seeking is, and a little bit about himself, if they please, Commissioner.
Go ahead, bud.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Bishar Al-Jubairi, and I'm studying here in Troy University for public administration and concerning about public management. And here is I'm doing my internship with Mr. Hay as an honor for me to work with him before his retirement. If I have the acceptance from you guys, I will fight with you to say no for him and to stay for him. And that's all that I have for tonight.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report this time.
Okay. And let me add one thing, that Harry is a fine Christian man, and we really hate to lose him. He works hard every day. He's just easily accessible and readily available. And Harry, we're just going to miss you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
You said,
Go ahead.
there was another administrator retired over in Lee County, and he thought he was retired. But every county start calling him to come in and fill in spots to help out. So Harry, Becky, we still gonna use Harry part-time. You know, he was one too far.
All right.
I do everything I'm legally.
Pike County Commission work session is now closed, and we'll reconvene in 5 minutes for our regular meeting.
Oh, yes, sir.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
There are many different offices in city government, and each one has a phone. Keeping track of all those numbers is a huge challenge. The good news is you don't have to. There is one simple 3-digit phone number for city information and services. It's 311.
Good morning, City of Troy 311. May I help you?
Call 311 for questions about your recycling, garbage pickup, to report a stray dog in the neighborhood, if there's a pothole that needs filling, to report power outages, limbs on the street, and much more. City of Troy, 311. 911 is always the number to call in case of an emergency, like a fire, a crime in progress, or a medical emergency. 911 is for emergencies. 311 is for everything else. You can download the City of Troy's 311 app from the App Store or Play Store. Remember, for city information and services, call 311. For more information, check out the City of Troy's website at troyal.gov.
Troy Cable is the leader in smart home security, giving you solutions to monitor, protect, and automate your home. Troy Cable Security keeps your property safe with 24/7 professional monitoring and emergency response. Control thermostats and lighting remotely, which allow options for saving energy and money. Control access to your home remotely with integrated controls for door locks. You can even add our smart home cameras, which allow you to see what you care about instantly. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Come visit Troy Nissan. With a new modern look and the same great staff, we are dedicated to providing you with an excellent customer experience. Shop us online at www.troynissaninc.com. Free oil changes for life on all new vehicles. Thanks for being part of our family. Troy Nissan.
The First National Bank is a true community bank. That's why we created and introduced our Spirit Checking account. Spirit Checking offers you checks and debit cards that display the logo of your favorite school. Every time you make a purchase with your Spirit debit card, the First National Bank will donate 1 cent to your school. Talk Spirit Checking with us today in Troy or Brundage. It's just another way we're making your banking better. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
There are many different offices in city government, and each one has a phone. Keeping track of all those numbers is a huge challenge. The good news is you don't have to. There is one simple 3-digit phone number for city information and services. It's 311.
Good morning, City of Troy 311. May I help you?
Call 311 for questions about your recycling, garbage pickup, to report a stray dog in the neighborhood, if there's a pothole that needs filling, to report power outages, limbs on the street, and much more. City of Troy, 311. 911 is always the number to call in case of an emergency, like a fire, a crime in progress, or a medical emergency. 911 is for emergencies. 311 is for everything else. You can download the City of Troy's 311 app from the App Store or Play Store. Remember, for city information and services, call 311. For more information, check out the City of Troy's website at troyal.gov.
Come visit Troy Nissan. With a new modern look and the same great staff, we are dedicated to providing you with an excellent customer experience. Shop us online at www.troynissaninc.com. Free oil changes for life on all new vehicles. Thanks for being part of our family. Troy Nissan.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
The First National Bank is a true community bank. That's why we created and introduced our Spirit checking account. Spirit Checking offers you checks and debit cards that display the logo of your favorite school. Every time you make a purchase with your Spirit debit card, the First National Bank will donate 1 cent to your school. Talk Spirit Checking with us today in Troy or Brundage. It's just another way we're making your banking better. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Troy Cable is the leader in smart home security, giving you solutions to monitor, protect, and automate your home. Troy Cable Security keeps your property safe with 24/7 professional monitoring and emergency response. Control thermostats and lighting remotely, which allow options for saving energy and money. Control access to your home remotely with integrated controls for door locks. You can even add our smart home cameras, which allow you to see what you care about instantly. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see.
Pike County Commission regular meeting will now come to order. Harry, would you lead us in the invocation?
Will you pray with me? Almighty God, our most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, we thank you so very much for all the good blessings that you've showered upon us. We thank you for this time now that we can come together to discuss the business of the good people of Pike County. We ask you to continue to bless us and bless this commission as it makes decisions that it might be pleasing in your sight. We ask all these blessings in Jesus' blessed name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show that all commissioners are present. Approving of the January 22nd minutes.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Barron.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Copeland. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Approving of the claims.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Wright. Second by Commissioner Harris. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Engineer's report.
Mr. Chairman, we request that you suspend the rules and in order to vote on the 3 separate items under new business.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Copeland, seconded by Commissioner Johnson. Be a roll call vote.
No.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
Motion carries. Do you want to talk about each one?
Well, however you want me to do it. The first
They'll have to be done separately, so just go ahead.
Okay. All right. The first is the request for contract spraying.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Copeland, seconded by Commissioner Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
2 noes. Motion carries.
Okay, the second is the revised resurfacing resolution for County Road 2276 and 2290.
Make the motion to amend the previous agreed research.
Motion by Commissioner Johnson,
Second.
second by Commissioner Barron. Question?
You got a question?
When you say revised, now what are we gonna do? Are we gonna complete this or jumping back and forth?
Well, actually, you already approved one resolution to initiate this project, and what we did was we created a totally new resolution with a different ending point. They make you stop at a logical terminus, so we had to go down to the next intersection, which is 2277. So this is a revised or a completely new resolution for the same project. This is not an additional project. It's just the same project with a revision in the project limits.
Your explanation to me was when you submitted this stuff, they said the point we were going to stop the pavement was not a logical terminus,
Right.
and they wanted it to go to the next intersection. Is that
Right,
correct?
that's right.
So it was adding extra footage to it.
Right, not very far, but we needed to go a little further anyway, and we were under the impression they would let us handle that under the project as it was, and they decided not to. So,
You have a question, Commissioner?
Yeah, who decided?
ALDOT, this is a federal aid resurfacing project, so all of the initiating data and plans and everything has to go through them, and they let these to contract.
And the rest of the finance money to finish it up, go that far, go that much farther.
Yes, sir. Well,
It'd be whatever they give us, yeah.
yeah, actually, you initiated 2 projects there together, that road and the road that intersects with it that goes down to the Coffee County line. And we're actually to get both of those projects this year, as we explained, it's in the project update, but we're actually going to have to ask for a little bit of an advance from next year's federal aid allocation. So we haven't gotten to that point yet, but right, to answer your question, it's not going to make any difference on the funding. We were already going to have to ask for an advance, and we're still going to have to ask for an advance.
But you didn't have the finance to go that far. the money that go, where you gonna get that money from? When you say going toward the next town?
The money's there in our balance, our federal aid balance.
You with him?
I'm reading, I
Okay.
understand what he's saying.
Okay. You done?
Mhm.
Okay. So you have a motion by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Barron. Any more questions? Vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and then the third item under new business is the list of equipment that we're requesting you to declare as surplus. And in addition, as explained in the memo, approval of our plan for disposal of the equipment, if you so choose to surplus it.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I make the motion on equipment surplus be approved.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Barron,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Copeland. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and then finally, under current business, we have our personnel recommendation.
Go over it for us, Les.
Well, you approved 2 part-time hires at your last meeting, and one of those, we were not able to employ one of those individuals, so we're asking for a different individual.
Didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
Well, you approved 2 at your last meeting, and one of those was unable to be employed by us. So this is a different individual to replace that.
Mr. Chairman, I put that in motion.
Motion by Commissioner Barron,
Second.
second by Commissioner Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
1 no. Motion carried. Okay. Anything else for the engineer?
That's all we had under our report.
Thank you, Russ. Alan, I'm gonna hold off on you till we get through. EMA?
Commissioner, the only thing I have would be, I guess, a request to, suspend the rules to vote on the security upgrades for the courthouse. In talking with the administrator, we would look to pay for this through the EMA budget and some savings and stuff that we wouldn't do, so there'd be no additional funds outside of what's already currently budgeted for these upgrades.
And it was $5,096?
$5,096.
Okay.
The bulk of that being for that back door entrance.
Okay. Question?
I think we've listened to enough of the concerns, security concerns.
I agree.
To know it needs to.
Need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Johnson.
We got to suspend the rules.
Okay.
We got to suspend the rules first.
All right, this will be to suspend the rules from Commissioner Johnson.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Copeland. Roll call vote.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we need a motion for the movement.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Barron. Second by Commissioner Wright. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, sir. Administrator's report.
Mr. Chairman, I believe we've covered all the issues on the administrator's report. At this time, unless anyone has any questions.
Let's see.
And if there is none, I believe the only one that's now missing would be item number 3 under current business, which would be the transfer license for Red Eyes Roadhouse.
And you said everything's met, correct?
Yes, sir.
I move that we honor that transfer.
Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Copeland, seconded by Commissioner Barron. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the current business. Our next meeting will be February 26th.
Okay. Yes, sir.
You skip personnel and revenue commission, you gonna leave that out?
That can, no.
I thought we forwarded it to the next meeting because it just came up.
You mean under administrator's report?
Yes.
You forward the
Yeah,
first three.
That comes forward to the next meeting. It doesn't require any action this meeting. It's just,
roll around to the next.
yeah, it's not a rush on any of
Okay.
that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, attorney?
As mentioned, and Mackenzie can make the necessary notes in the minutes and motions in the minutes. We need a motion, roll call vote, to go into executive session for the three items identified in the amended agenda, and I would, knowing the way we are, I'd say 30 minutes.
Let's go with 45.
Yeah.
Just in case. Then we're covered. Okay.
We can always cut it short.
There you go. All right, we have a commissioner report. Commissioner Copeland.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't think about this could have been brought up earlier, but the ACCA had put out something about Don't Drop It on Alabama, that program. Katie Thomas, I almost call her Sanders, Katie Thomas, I get struggling with that. I remember it was Katie Sanders. So Katie Thomas had sent an email out, and I'm not sure who I was on it, probably most of us, that they had joined and they were going to participate in that program. So if it pleases all of you guys, I've sent an email to make sure, to get us signed up to participate as well, to partner with them. And it's a huge issue, and I know this is kind of a drop in the bucket to address it, but it is a step forward, something that we haven't, done in the last couple of years, just probably because the way it came up and just oversights. But if it pleases you guys, we'll move forward. We'll sign us up. It's really a volunteer thing. We get bags and stuff to promote it and set up some dates where people can kind of be captains and work together to take ownership in a problem that we've got in the county, which is obviously all of our problem because it's the taxpayers' money that we have to spend to pick that up. And the second part of that is in some of the discussions with some of the commissioners in Dale County, they've got a program there that they're using some, I don't really know how to go into depth on it, and this isn't something obviously that we can make a decision on tonight, but they've got a group that's picking up their trash. It's a nonprofit, and they use people that they're trying to help get back into the workforce, and they're trying to train about work. They really use them as part-time employees, and we've got some. I've got our engineer to reach out to them to get some more of the details on it, some of the cost structures and some of those things that we would need to know to really make a decision. But I'd like to get you guys some of that information to start looking at as well to see. I know we've asked the road department to handle some of that solid waste duties, and that's the only department that we've got in the county that can really do that. So I understand how that logically happens, but as we discussed earlier, with the manpower shift and all the needs we've got on the county roads, if we're going to address it, we really need to address it outside of that manpower, or we need to come up with a plan, just a consolidated plan where it's not, I call Russell and say, I want you to pick up on this road, and he's kind of between a rock and a hard spot because one of his bosses is called to kind of put him on the spot to do something that he really doesn't need to do. Safety has got to come before solid waste. Unfortunately, we've got to be concerned with the pavement before we're concerned with the right-of-way. So, all three of those things, really nothing to put forth to a vote yet, but I would like you guys to review some of those documents we'll get out. Russell's got some of that information. And then, with y'all's nod, I'll move forward with signing us up to get that information on the PALS program.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I also called, and they had told me that one of our commissioners have already responded. And I would like for, when they send these emails out, let's read them and bring it back to the table and let's discuss, because it'll help us a whole lot if we do that.
We can find a way to do it, I agree.
Yeah.
Just chill. Yes, sir.
If anybody recall, now this thing been going on for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
It comes out every year.
Yep.
I married in with 1 year with the city of Troy, and then I talked to constituents up in the area. We met, talked to the sheriff department, had a deputy out and they come out and help us pick it up. But the main thing, we need to contact the garbage people to make sure they see the bags out of the road, they can pick them up for us. And so we used to have a trailer that I used from the road department, I don't know what it is now, that we got everything in the trailer and we took it to the road department, they took it to a dumpster somewhere and they pick it up that way. But there's something that's got new, it just.
Oh, yeah, no,
It fell dead down the line somewhere.
Yeah, and Katie's really the one that kind of woke me up to it. I did have an email in my inbox from ACCA that I hadn't seen, to your point. And when she brought it up, that kind of made me search, and then Russell also brought it up to me. So, but no, you're right, I remember the program.
Yeah. A couple of years in a row, Commissioner Barron and I took kids from the programs in Pike County and
Boys and Girls Club,
and took them out. We picked up
church groups, and
we picked up on a couple of different roads.
helped us as well in the Needmore area and Elm Street.
He had a trailer that we put it in, and then he set it out, and he called, and they came and picked it up.
Picked it up for us, yeah. And Sheriff Thomas was nice enough to give us a deputy to follow us,
keep traffic off
us. But we need to get started on that again.
Yes, sir.
And get a lot of the community involved.
Okay. So we need a motion to suspend the rules.
I make a motion.
Yeah. Motion by Commissioner Johnson. Second by Commissioner Copeland. Roll call vote.
Yes.
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 Now we need a motion to go into executive session for approximately 45 minutes.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Wright, seconded by Commissioner Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Yes.
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 Okay, we'll be out for approximately 45 minutes.
You know what it is?
It's been moved the other day, I promise. Probably should have won
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
There are many different offices in city government, and each one has a phone. Keeping track of all those numbers is a huge challenge. The good news is you don't have to. There is one simple 3-digit phone number for city information and services. It's 311.
Good morning, City of Troy 311. May I help you?
Call 311 for questions about your recycling, garbage pickup, to report a stray dog in the neighborhood, if there's a pothole that needs filling, to report power outages, limbs on the street, and much more. City of Troy, 311. 911 is always the number to call in case of an emergency, like a fire, a crime in progress, or a medical emergency. 911 is for emergencies. 311 is for everything else. You can download the City of Troy's 311 app from the App Store or Play Store. Remember, for city information and services, call 311. For more information, check out the City of Troy's website at troyal.gov.
Troy Cable is the leader in smart home security, giving you solutions to monitor, protect, and automate your home. Troy Cable Security keeps your property safe with 24/7 professional monitoring and emergency response. Control.
just outward charm, but detective inward harm. Keep off and see you as you are outside. Jesus really knows you, for he sees inside. How about your heart? Is it right? That's the thing that counts today. How about your heart? Is it right with God? That's the thing that counts Savior, whose blood stained a cross, while suffering in anguish and shame, to save me when I was so wretched and lost. His mercy has cleansed every stain.
Enough to afford to make that offer. Aren't you glad?
I have a great Savior who took on himself the curse of my sins willingly. No words could describe it, no language could tell why grace paid it all on that tree. I have a great Savior and Jesus my Lord. His limitless love is my plea. What a price that he offered to salvation to me. What a price that he offered to freely afford. So great a salvation to me.
Isaiah chapter 6, Isaiah saw the Lord high and lifted up. Our prayer for you is that you'll see him high and lifted up. Isaiah saw the Lord high and lifted up and seated on a throne. The seraphim above him, they covered their faces, and one called to the other, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord, above and beyond, holy, omnipotent, there is no one like him. His glory
tonight. Amen. Having me a good time in Jesus tonight. That's right, that's right. I'm gonna shout, gonna run, gonna have a little fun, lifting his name up high. I'm gonna dance, gonna sing, giving glory to the King, 'cause he's given me both the verdict and buy. I can feel the Spirit of the Lord all in this place. Can't you? I can see the love of Jesus all over your face. You can't hide it. Hey, when I came here, I left my troubles outside, 'cause I'm having me a good time in Jesus tonight. That's right. I'm having me a good time in Jesus tonight. How many came to have a good time tonight? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How many good old Baptists do we have in here tonight that are backslidden? God bless everyone. All right. I'm gonna shout, gonna run, gonna have a little fun, lifting his name up high. I'm gonna dance, gonna sing, giving glory to the King, 'cause he's given me more than money can buy. Did you ever think that praising the Lord could be so much fun? I never would have thought it. Hey, the good news is the praising has just begun. That's right. Being here with you has been a blessing to my life. Having me a good time, good time, good time, good time. I'm having me a good time in Jesus tonight. I made up my mind. I'm having a good time at the Mac with all of you tonight. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. I'm glad I'm saved, amen. I'm glad I'm saved. Oh, I'm glad there was a day in my life when I was a walking dead man. The giver of life called my name, amen. Listen. They had stole Lazarus. Can you explain? They said, how can a man be so dead and then live again? Why, that's just insane. But old Lazarus said, boys, hey boys, I heard a voice, and it spoke life to me. Then old death set me free when he called my name. He called my name, and I heard his voice. He called my name, and I made my choice. And I knew my life would never be the same after he called. He called my name. How many remember when the Master called your name? You don't forget it, do you? I remember like it was yesterday. Even though it's been 19 years ago, I walked into a revival meeting in Jacksonville, Florida. I was a drunk. I was a dope addict. But 2 hours later, I walked out of there a child of the King. They had Zacchaeus. Can you tell us about Jesus? You know what he said? He said, I was in that sycamore tree. I just climbed up to see the Lord pass my way. called out, Zacchaeus, today I'll stay at your house. He said, so I took him in. He forgave all of my sins, and he called me by name. Oh, yes, he did. Yeah, he called my name, and I heard his voice. He called my name, and I made my choice. And I knew my life would never be the same after he called. He called my name. Oh, thank God he called. He called my name. He called my name. Well, glory to God. How are you in Prestonsburg, Kentucky tonight? Where they'll sing forevermore as they did at that old country church. Well, I'm redeemed. Oh, I'm redeemed. My love divine. Glory, glory. Christ is mine. Christ is mine. Christ is mine. All to him. I now reside. I have been. So much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. It is certainly a privilege for the Blackwood Brothers Quartet to be back in Pensacola, Florida tonight. And we do appreciate all of you joining us here for a great night of gospel music. Before we sing again, I would like to know how many of you are familiar with the Blackwood Brothers over the years. You've seen them in person, heard their records, seen them on TV, heard them on radio, know something about the Blackwood Brothers. Good, that's good. How many of you have never heard of the Blackwood Brothers before? What country did you folks grow up in? We thought we'd sung to everybody by now. In fact, next year marks the 75th anniversary when my dad and his brothers started singing gospel music back in 1934 down in Choctaw County, Mississippi. I would have thought we'd have sung to everybody by now, but I guess we got the last half a dozen or so of you in tonight. Glad to have a lot of old friends as well, though. The second song we sang tonight takes a lot of you way back. Remember, how many remember the Arthur Godfrey television program? How many remember Arthur Godfrey? Bunch of youngins up here. That's American Idol 50 years ago. You might remember the Blackwood Brothers sang that song, Have You Talked to the Man Upstairs, and won that contest, and that was just great. That was a great high point for them in their life. Then the very first song was one of my dad's all-time favorites, How About Your Heart? I think
Psalm 23 starts out with, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. If you go a little further down in the scripture, it says, he leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. That's righteous, the paths of righteousness. That's the right path. The paths that produce righteousness. And it says it's for his name's sake. You know, when we're going through the valley, we learn a lot about the shepherd.
Troublesome times are here, filling men's hearts with fear. Freedom we all hold dear, now is at stake. Humbling your hearts to God, safe from the chastening rod. Seek the way pilgrims trod, Bristol way. Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. And they will meet their doom. Trumpets will sound, surely sound. All of the dead shall rise. Righteous meet in the sky, going where no one dies. Heavenward bound, our troubles will soon be o'er. Happy forevermore, when we meet on that shore, free from all care. Rising up in the sky, telling this world goodbye. Homeward we then will fly, glory to share. Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. And they will meet their doom. Trumpets will surely sound. All of the dead shall rise. Righteous meet in the sky, going where no one dies. Heavenward bound. Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. And they will meet their doom. Trumpets will surely sound. All of the dead shall rise. Righteous meet in the sky, going where no one dies. Heavenward Well, I woke up this morning feeling fine. I woke up with heaven on my mind. I woke up with joy in my soul, for I knew my Lord had control. Well, I knew I was walking in the light, cause I'd been on my knees in the night, and I prayed till the Lord gave a sign, and now I'm feeling mighty fine. Well, I'm feeling mighty fine, fine. I've got heaven on my mind. Don't you know? I wanna go where the milk and honey flow. There's a light that always shines down inside this heart of mine. I've got heaven on my mind, and now I'm feeling mighty fine. I've been walking with Jesus all the time. Leave me alone. We're walking and talking as we climb. We're traveling the road to the sky, where I know I live when I die. He's been telling me all about that plan, and he tells me that everything is grand. And he says that a home will be mine, and now I'm feeling mighty fine. in the window pane. Ain't gonna need this house no longer. I'm getting ready to meet the saints.
Well, this old house wants my children. This old house wants my wife. This old house is a home and a comfort as we call the storm of life. This old house was friend and laughter. This old house with many shouts. Now she trembles in the darkness when the lightning walks about. Ain't gonna need this house no longer. Ain't gonna need this house no more.
Ain't got time to fix the ceiling. Ain't got time to fix the floor. Ain't got time to wall the hinges. Out in the window pane. Ain't gonna need this house no longer. I'm getting ready to meet the saints.
Now my old hound dog lies asleep and he don't know I'm going to leave. Else he'd wake up by the fireplace and he'd sit there and howl and grieve. But my hunting days are over, ain't gonna hunt for coon no more. Gabriel done brought in the shed when the wind blew down that door. Ain't gonna need this house no longer, ain't gonna need this house no more.
Ain't got time to fix the ceiling. Ain't got time to fix the floor. Ain't got time to wall the hinges. Out in the window pane. Ain't gonna need this house no longer. I'm getting ready to meet the saints. Well, when the saints go marching in, I'm singing. When the saints go marching in, I'm singing. Could be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Well, when the saints go marching in, I'm singing. When the saints go marching in. Could be in that number. Yeah, when the saints go marching in. Mr. Randy Bird. Right hand to Randy. There's a lighthouse on a hillside that overlooks life's sea. And when I'm tossed about, it sends out a light that I might see. And that light that shines in darkness will someday lead me home. If it wasn't for that old lighthouse, you know this ship, it would sail no more. Everybody that lives around us says tear that old lighthouse down. You know the big ships, they don't sail this way anymore. And there's no use of it standing round. Well, my mind, it goes back to that stormy night when just in time I saw the light, that light from the old lighthouse.
Jesus with his hand in mine. I don't know where he's taking me, but I know he'll take care of me one step at a time. It's a crazy world that we're living in. From one day to the next, you could sink or swim. Everybody's talking answers, yet no one really knows if any of it's true or just what the future holds. I'm taking one step at a time, following Jesus with his hand in mine. I don't know where he's taking me, but I know he'll take care of me one step at a time. Sometimes I have plans that do not work out, and I ask the Lord, what's this all about? He reminds me that he's had the plan all along, so I just need to follow him into the vast unknown. I'm taking one step at a time, following Jesus with his hand in mine. I don't know where he's taking me, but I know he'll take care of me one step at a time. It's a path of faith and not one of sight, but just when I need it, God's word is my light. On this journey I must learn to trust and obey. I'll follow where he leads me for the rest of my day. I'm taking one step at a time, following Jesus with his hand in mine. I don't know where he's taking me, but I know he'll take care of me one step at a time, one step at a time. Amen. It's so good to sing to you. I just am so thrilled that you came and your smiling faces. I love that, and I love to sing about my Lord. He is so worthy of our praise here. Anytime you feel like it, you go right ahead and see what happens. Amen. Praise.
There's a narrow path leading to my home, and I'm walking on the road by day. But my Lord is with me everywhere I go, and I never have to be afraid. I know my steps grow weary and I might get slow, I never lose sight of my heavenly goal. And I still think about that day when I started on the glory land way. It may be on the mountain, in the valley where the narrow way might be, or a bridge over troubled stormy waters where my journey might carry me. But I can't turn aside to an easy road. If I could, I know I never would stay. There's peace and rest waiting just ahead at the end of the glory land way. If you want to hear how I started out, it's a story I'll be glad to tell. I could see I was nothing but a poor lost soul, far from God and on the road to hell.
But the Savior met me with a detour sign, and he saved my soul with his power divine.
That's when I'm happy to say I started on the glory land way.
It may be on the mountain, in the valley where the narrow way might be, or a bridge over troubled stormy waters where my journey might carry me. But I can't turn aside to an easy road. If I could, I know I never would stay. There's peace and
journey's been since I've been walking with you. Climbing each mountain, walking each valley, every little river we go through. Even if I stumble as I travel, you will keep me as I go. I'm looking ahead to my heavenly home, and I want you to know. I want you to know.
With the spiritual pen, moving the hands of the prophets in the days of old. It's the inspired supernatural word, the only real truth that has ever been heard. It can wound, it can heal, it can make the sinner's blood run cold.
Preach, preach, and preach it. 66 books from cover to cover. Teach, preach, or teach it. And then preach it again from one end to the other. Now don't water it down, don't modern it up. Let it say what it has to say. Just get out that old gospel gun and fire, fire away.
There's people in the church who have an itching ear. They don't want to hear what they don't want to hear. To stand up and say, you know, heaven's still real and hell is still hot. Sin is still sin and God is still God. They need to get out that old gospel gun and fire, fire away.
Oh, preach, preach, and preach it. 66 books from cover to cover. Teach, preach, or teach it. And then preach it again from one end to the other. Well, don't water it down, don't modern it up. Let it say what it has to say. Well, just get out that old gospel gun and fire, fire away. Yeah, come on, preach,
for all the moms in our audience, and I was very fortunate.
See, I've never made a fortune. Probably too late now. Oh, but I don't worry about that much, 'cause I'm happy anyhow. Don't I look happy tonight? Let me tell you why. As I go along life's journey, you know what I realized? I'm reaping better than I sowed. I'm drinking from my saucer because my cup is overflowing. Amen. I ain't got a lot of riches. Sometimes the going's rough, but I've got a friend in Jesus, and that makes me rich enough. Ain't that right, Mom Mary Jo? I thank God for all of His blessings on me, don't you? And for the mercy He's bestowed. I'm drinking from my saucer, 'cause my cup is full. Thank you. Oh, sure, thank you too, brother. I've been through some storms, and I'm sure some of you have been too. Tell me the truth, I bet there were times when you were going through those storms you felt like giving up, didn't you? You felt like just throwing in the towel. You said, Lord, I've had enough. Can't take it no more. And about the time you were ready to cave in, you looked up, and those dark clouds started to break apart, and you saw the sun shining through, and you said, oh, my Lord, my God, help me not to crumble and complain about those tough roads. I must tougher. I think the hairspray's going right now, amen. Because my cup is overflowing, and if I should go on living, and if my way gets steep and rough, I'll try not to ask Him for other blessings, even though He says I can, and I'm supposed to, but I'm ashamed to. I'm already blessed enough. Amen. Lord, may I never be too busy, oh Lord, to help another bear His love. And I'll keep drinking from my saucer, because my cup is overflowing. I'll keep drinking from my saucer, Lord, because my cup is over. It's just spilling over. My cup is overflowing. Saul of Tarsus met him on Damascus Road. A woman drew him water from a well, and the blind man got his healing on the road to Jericho. Now what a story all of these could tell. Oh, I know just how they felt when they encountered Him one day. But when He saves your soul, He takes your doubt and fear away. Oh, since I met Him, I'm not the man I used to be. Jesus made a believer out of me. Yeah, since I met Him,
twist around. He changed my whole direction, and I know I'm heaven bound. Since I met him, I'm not the man I used to be. Jesus made a believer out of me. Oh yeah, Jesus made a believer out of me. I said Jesus. Oh, he made a believer out of me. Oh yes, he did. Oh come on now, help me out. Yeah. There on the bed of affliction, asking God for a miracle. You heard your trusted physician say you better get ready for the funeral. Then you felt the touch of a healing hand from a God who can resurrect a lifeless man. Let me tell you what you already knew. The rocks between the hard place and you. One day you know you're gonna surely be
Between the devil and the deep blue sea.
if you didn't have the Lord, you wouldn't know what to do. Oh, right there in the middle of your darkest night, you see God move and everything's alright. Call the rock between the hard place and you. Oh yeah. And they're serving God in the bad times. Hey, nobody cares if you sink or swim. Faithful in all of the sad times. You will always know you can depend on Him. When everybody thought that you would surely fail, God kept blessing and your faith prevailed. Everything He ever promised is true. The rocks between the hard place and you. One day you know you're gonna surely be
Between the devil and the deep blue sea.
if you didn't have the Lord, you wouldn't know what to do. Oh, no. Right there in the middle of your darkest night, you see God move and everything's alright. Call the rocks between the hard place and you. Well, one day you know you're gonna surely be between the devil and the deep blue sea. If you didn't have the Lord, you wouldn't know what to do. Oh no, but there in the middle of your darkest night, you see God move and everything's alright. Call the rocks between the hard place and you. I said the rocks between the hard place and help me, Lord,
On my journey, when I'm tested and when I'm tried,
when I am tried.
help me, Lord,
Help me, Lord.
keep me certain, keep me walking right by your side. When my troubles put me under,
sees it through to the end.
When I face temptation and I'm down for the count, nobody but you, Lord, can pick me up and help me out. Help me, Lord, to be an example, showing to others just what you can do. Lord, what you can do. Help me, Lord, never to fail you. Make me a witness who's faithful and true. When the day
Where's Commissioner Harris? There he comes.
Okay.
Our next scheduled meeting is for February the 26th. Work session will begin at 5:15. Closing comments.
I have none. Now just, I mean, everybody, just prepare to vote no when Mr. Harris' retirement comes in.
Commissioner Harris.
No.
Commissioner Johnson. Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Barron, seconded by Commissioner Wright, by Robert's rules. We are adjourned.
Oh, I got something to give you before you go.
That's like sharing. Hey, let me tell you.